Hey everybody, this is Jim Meskimen doing an impression of Cody Mims. I'm just here to tell you that this podcast is sponsored by Audible. So, look, they got some great books of all stars and stripes, such as The Big Seven, a faux mystery, narrated by me, Jim Meskimen. So, what makes this a faux mystery, you ask? Well, here's the stitch. Um, Detective Sunderson moves into in a remote area of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. So you can imagine things get crazy. Apparently, he attempts to enumerate and master the seven deadly sins. So, I mean, this just sounds like a must listen. You gotta check this out. And here's how you do it. I'm going to tell you the process. Uh, Step one, you access the internet. And the way that you do this is you have to have a device capable first. So if you don't go out and purchase that, that's step zero. But if you do, here's step one. Um, I'll give you the directions for a laptop. If you're on a laptop, take the laptop, make sure it's charged, open it up to get out of clamshell mode. And then once you do that, you're just going to want to move your cursor over to your web browser. I'm pretty sure this works in all web browsers. So just do that, and then you're going to want to press down on that little glass or plastic or whatever part that makes up your trackpad. And that is known as a click. So that once you do that, that'll open up your web browser. Anyway, this ad is over 2 minutes long already, so I'm gonna just let you get on to the show. But anyway, I'll get back with you next week on how exactly you can go about getting this great audiobook. So enjoy the show.
Good evening and welcome to our 7th episode of our Season 8 Rewatch of America's Got Talent. I'm Cody Patterson. Along with me is the guy whose mom was not on Happy Days. Here's Cody Mims.
Hello.
Have you ever watched Happy Days?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. I like the theme song.
You know the theme song? You know who Mrs. Cunningham is?
No.
Well, she's one of the big stars of Happy Days. And that was a big shocker for me tonight to find something out about one of our acts is related to someone from Happy Days.
Yeah, that show's by the wonderful Gary Marshall, right?
That's right.
Oh, R.I.P. R2D2 soon.
Yep. Well, just a reminder, tonight we're sponsored by Audible once again, so we really appreciate Audible. And we're going to get into episode 3 of Quarterfinals. We're just rolling right along with Quarterfinals, aren't we?
Yeah.
What'd you think of tonight's episode as a whole?
There were some pretty good acts, so I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've noticed from week to week we'll have some highs and some lows. I haven't seen anything week to week where the whole episode is just a bunch of really good acts.
Yeah, well, a listener has told us next week might be pretty amazing.
Okay, I can't wait until the final week of Quarterfinals. You ready to get into these episodes or into these acts?
Yeah.
Well, we start off with Aerosphere Aerial Balloon Show, and this is it's an aerial art show, is what they called it. Kind of their performance is they have somebody tied to a helium balloon, and then they do some acrobatics and some trapeze work. We find out from their intro that they grew up in circus families. The husband is a seventh generation performer. The act that they did tonight is inspired by the husband's grandmother. And we also find out it takes them about 4 to 6 hours to inflate this balloon. This is also the first time that we've really seen this act. We saw it very briefly during a montage back in auditions. They were pushed straight through at Vegas. So this point is the first time we've really had exposure to the Aerosphere Aerial Balloon Show. What do you think of their performance?
It was pretty weird. Um, I don't know. They kind of floated and they hung from the balloon, and it was interesting. It didn't really seem that great to me. The judges didn't like it either. So um, I don't know. What do you think?
Um, I wasn't that impressed with it. I think one of the judges said that they were just kind of waiting for more to happen. It started off and they were doing some stuff, and they were just kind of floating around, and she was waiting for more things to happen, and then it was just over. And that's the way I kind of felt as well. I was not impressed by this as much as I thought I would be. When I first saw this, I think when we saw a little bit of it in auditions, I was eager to see this performance, kind of see what it was, and then throughout their intro, I was still kind of interested. But then when it was over, I just felt really let down.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's interesting they put them straight through to Vegas week. Thinking about it now, I'm wondering if that's just because they wouldn't fit in the theater there.
That's true, because their act, they pretty much used the whole theater.
Yeah. And it seems like a lot of those sort of big acts get to go through Vegas week too, so I don't know.
That's a good point, because we didn't see, like the Aquanuts, who you have to go to a whole different place to find a swimming pool. They were put through. This type of act was put through. With this act, it would have been really weird for them to be floating around the Hollywood Theater with just four judges in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I kind of had them on the bubble. Um, it was probably really cool to see there. I think from home we didn't quite get the full experience.
Mhm.
So I didn't think they were bad. I think there was probably a lot of promise, but it just didn't wow me.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else for the Aerosphere Aerial Balloon Show?
Nope.
Okay. Everyone listening, I want to apologize. I kind of have a stuffy nose tonight, so this might actually be a shorter podcast than we typically do. Uh, I know you don't want to hear me kind of stumbling through with a stuffy nose, so those of you listening are probably pumping your fist right now, hoping for a shorter podcast. So we'll try to get through this as quickly as we can.
No, I'm sure it's fine.
Thanks.
If you want me to take over the main seat though, I can if you like. If it's not fun to talk as much, I don't know.
I'm doing fine right now. I appreciate that, though. We'll see what happens later on.
All right.
Okay. Next, we have the Chicago Boys, and we've seen them several times. Well, I think they were put through straight from Vegas, but we did see them quite a bit in auditions. We find out that they're from the inner city of Chicago. They have a coach that's very familiar with their situation. In order to be on their team, they have to have great grades. They have to study all the time. They have to stay out of trouble. Uh, the coach really kind of keeps them straight, and we found that out from their package, from their intro package. Uh, they're kind of an acrobat team. They do a lot of tumbling and flips and jump roping. They even got a cute little routine where they use one of the little kids as a jump rope. This act has a lot of energy to it. What do you think of the Chicago Boys?
It was impressive stuff. They're very cool. Use the whole stage.
They did use the whole stage. We also found out in the results show that one of the guys broke his leg.
Oh, really?
Yes. They kept showing the clip of when it happened, and apparently it happened close to the end of the performance. He just landed funny, and he fell to the ground, which I totally missed. But then in the results show, they talked about what happened after that, and he was rushed to the emergency room. He broke his tibia in 3 places, and they say he's out for about 2 to 3 months.
Wow. I remember that. I was kind of watching for that this time. I thought maybe something. I think I might have seen when he did that, but nobody talked about it at all. So I kind of thought that this was not that episode. So wow, wow.
Well, I hope he's doing okay now. When they showed it, TV, they like to add a little drama to stuff. And the paramedic that was on the scene confirmed or showed that it was a broken leg, or said that the bone was broken. But of course, NBC has to add a little bit of drama to it. Uh, I didn't think he was in dire straits or anything, but they just made it seem like he was. It was iffy whether he was going to make it.
No, yeah,
So we move on to Mitzi Dancing School, and this was interesting. They started off by showing the director of the dance group, in a Chinese restaurant. She's originally from China. She moved here. Her daughter also works with her on the dance team, and she came later. So everything that they do in the dancing school is based around China, and it's based around precision. So it's fitting that they're performing in Radio City Music Hall, because that's what the Rockettes are. Is they're more of a precision dance group. So that really added something for me. What do you think of the Mitzi Dancing School?
oh yeah. This stuff looked amazing, and it was very precise, and I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it too, and I liked the costumes. I think the costumes had a lot to it. They had the stage all decorated in some Chinese regalia. I just thought that added a lot to the performance as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Howard said that it was hypnotic and mesmerizing, that it was flawless. Uh, these girls really know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. This is I mean, the training for this is probably pretty classical, and it's cool to see some more Chinese art on this stage, like we have seen with Red Panda. I've liked both of those acts a lot.
Yeah, it is very similar to Red Panda, and I could definitely see this as a Vegas act, especially if they integrated uh, more costumes, different set design. I think it's something they could definitely do for an hour or so.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have anything else for the Mitzi Dancing School?
I don't think so.
Okay. We get into Kelsey and Bailey, and Kelsey and Bailey are a girl dog dancing act. Kelsey said she got Bailey for her 13th birthday, and they are the best of friends. They do everything together. They go out on the tractor together. We even see them going around New York City on tours. Bailey gets to sit at the judges' table. This is a pretty cute intro.
Yeah, yeah. They are very cute.
Uh, the theme that they went with, it was kind of interesting. They went with a Wizard of Oz theme. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I like that. That was good.
Yeah, the Kelsey was kind of wearing a little gingham top that Dorothy would wear. Bailey kind of had on a little Toto, I guess maybe like a tie or a bow or something, kind of make it look like Toto. They had the yellow brick road going on. Um, but they danced to Hot and Cold by Katy Perry. What'd you think of the performance itself?
It was quite boring. How he commented, I'd kind of forgotten about this, but this is the year directly after the Latte Dogs victory, and yeah, I'm not sure they really hold up. It's probably not doing them a lot of favors. I don't know. I didn't like it.
No, I was very cold on it as well. I wasn't very hot on it, as Katy Perry would say. I was neither. I was cold, not hot. Uh, it was kind of cute to watch, but it just didn't really do anything for me. There was nothing fantastic. It was kind of cool to see Bailey come down to the judges' table and kind of give the judges a little high paw. But other than that, the dancing was just kind of blah. There was nothing fantastic to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't aware that a dog also won Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what Nick said after the performance was you had Olate dogs in season 7, and then you also had a dog win Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of the year of the dog.
Yeah, for sure.
All the judges were kind of down on it. None of them were impressed. Uh, it was just kind of a girl having fun with her dog, but it was still cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else for Kelsey and Bailey?
Nope.
I did not. I did not have hopes for them to go through after the bashing that they received.
Yeah, yeah.
We then get Brandon and Savannah, and they're a brother sister band. And we find out in his intro that at first he was just performing by himself, and then he became impressed with what his sister could do, so they teamed up. They compare themselves to the artsy kids in Molly Ringwald movies. Have you ever seen her Molly Ringwald movie?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, those
Oh,
type
okay.
movies. Yeah, those would be the Molly Ringwald type movies. So usually in those movies you have the kind of the nerdy girl, like Molly Ringwald would be the nerdy girl. You'd have the jock. You'd have kind of the goofy little kid. You know, you'd have different types of stereotypes in these type movies, and so they compare themselves to the artsy kids in those movies.
Oh, okay.
Uh, we also find out Brandon hits on Savannah's friends when they come over. I'm not sure how much older Brandon is, but we know Savannah's 13. So is he hitting on girls younger than him instead of ones at his own age?
I don't know. The age difference probably isn't too staggering.
You don't think it's that big? You think he's maybe like a year or so older?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they look like they could be twins, honestly.
I'd forgot this, but they sing their own songs. I had to go look that up because I did not recognize the song they were singing.
Um, yeah. What was it? I liked it.
Well,
That's
it's their own song. I don't even remember the words because it wasn't a song I was familiar with.
Oh, this is it was Radioactive by Imagine Dragons.
Oh, so it was not their own original song.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, that's probably the most popular song in the last decade, honestly. But yeah, I guess I was disappointed at first that it was another cover, but I liked this a lot better than the last one. I think it worked for him quite a bit better. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly wild about this, but since American Hitmen were eliminated, I wanted them to do well. I'm kind of like with Howard. I want a good rock band, and since if I had to choose between American Hitmen and Brandon and Savannah, I would choose American Hitmen every single time. But since they were already wrong and eliminated, then uh, I wasn't particularly. I wanted them to do well, even though I still didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah. I think they had really good stage presence, so it all came together really well. The thing where she was drumming and there was sort of confetti on the drum or something was really cool. Brandon kind of abandoned his guitar halfway through, but it was all very nice.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Uh, the judges seemed to enjoy it. They were saying they owned the stage. They did a good job. So it sounds like you and the judges are in agreement on this.
Yeah.
Uh, anything else for Brandon and Savannah?
No, that's all.
Okay. We then get the illusionist Leon, Etienne, and I always mess up her name. I think is it uh, Robbie Lowe?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I keep wanting to say Romy Lowe, but I think it is Romy, and I keep butchering it every time in my head. We find out from their package they've been together 8 years, and he was looking for someone to come up on stage to saw in half. And so she volunteered, and within 2 hours, she was in three pieces.
Yeah. Um, it was pretty fun. Their performance was good. I liked it.
You did like it?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mel. There was sort of a lot going on, but overall, I guess I mean, the Nick reveal was the best part. I agree with Mel on that for sure.
Yes, the Nick reveal is the best part of the performance. Throughout most of it, I was kind of wondering what was happening. I felt like I was watching a Kate Mart Rocket performance there in the beginning.
Oh,
It
yeah,
just seemed
that's
it seemed goofy when they said they were going to give a behind the scenes look, and then they put the audience up on the big screen. It just seemed weird to me, and I wasn't. Again, the reveal at the end was awesome. That was great, but up until then, I knew something was coming, but I wasn't anticipating anything.
yeah. I think they had a camera behind their stuff for like the first few seconds, and then I don't know what happened with that, but yeah,
We did get a buzz from Howard.
yeah. I mean, I can see it for sure.
Yeah, I could see it too. Uh, Howie said he was entertained. They all agreed that the Nick part with Nick was the best part, but they weren't too wowed except for Howie. Uh, so, anything else for them?
Nope.
We then kind of get a little thing with Jim Meskimen. They want the Twitterverse to tweet who he should impersonate when he comes on the stage.
Yeah, that's uh, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little different. I don't think I've ever seen them do anything like that.
Yeah. I've seen magicians do some social media stuff a lot, and I've never really been able to take part in it, mostly just because I didn't know. Well, the magicians usually sometimes they make predictions before the act actually happens, and I've never been aware of that before I watched it on TV. So it kind of reminded me of that. Not really the same thing, but it's nice to have some participation in there, even if it doesn't mean that much, I guess.
Agreed. It is kind of cool to have some participation from home because a lot of times people watching from home don't feel like they're involved in the shows because you're if you're there you're more engaged. But so it's cool to kind of keep the audience at home engaged.
Yeah.
Well, after that we get Deanna De La Chapa, and she's just always felt like she's never fit in. She told us again that she's a dog rescuer, which I think is really cool. My wife just happened to be in here was watching that. There was a dog that appeared on the screen that looked exactly like our dog, and she commented on that. So it's kind of cool just to uh, see all the different dogs and how she takes care of dogs. She spent years going to auditions, situations where we find out that there's been situations where productions have used her voice on top of another image, and she's mainly just talking about her weight and how people just commented that she's not going to make it because of her weight and she needs to slim down and lose weight. Um, for this performance, she sang "I Want to Know What Love Is" by Foreigner. What'd you think of this?
Um, it seemed like a mediocre rendition of a mediocre song. Maybe
Ouch, dude.
that's yeah. That's pretty harsh, I know, but I don't know. There weren't a lot of singers. I guess there were a few singers, but that's not really what I was focused on this time. It didn't really stand out.
I thought she nailed it. I thought she killed it. I love this song. It's one of my favorites. Maybe it's just because it's from my generation. Uh, I know there's people out there even from my generation think it's a mediocre song for a mediocre band, uh, but I really love it. I thought she did a great job. Uh, you know, she hit every note. She didn't have uh, technical issues like she did during Vegas week. I just thought the whole thing just came together.
Well, cool.
Yeah. Uh, Anything for Deanna De La Chapa?
Nope.
Okay. We then get David the Cobra King Weathers. And this is the first time that we've seen him since auditions. He was the very first act we saw in auditions.
Woohoo!
I know. Well, all those weeks we went through auditions. Uh, Vegas week, we didn't see him. We're now on the third week of quarterfinals. We finally get to see some more Cobras. Uh, we find out he got his first snake at 8 years old. He used to volunteer at a snake habitat, which he now runs. He's been on the verge of kidney failure. He's been paralyzed from the waist down. He's handling some pretty dangerous stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What'd you think of his performance, though?
He is in the ring. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, he was in like a giant octagon.
Yeah, just him and that snake.
He's going MMA with the snake.
Yeah. Um. So I don't know. I liked it. The judges kind of knocked him on presentation. I think they're being a little unfair. They're so quick to turn on these acts that they love in auditions.
Right. Yeah, they love this guy during auditions. You know, we've talked before that Heidi doesn't really like the danger acts. Uh, I can appreciate the danger. They've told us several times how much he's been bitten, uh, how dangerous this one particular snake is. He's in an octagon. It seemed to me that the whole act was him trying to, he takes the snake out. The whole act is him trying to get the snake back in the box.
Yeah, he should have said that at the beginning, I think. But once you see what he's doing, it's pretty neat.
Right. One of the judges said that they would have liked to see the snake almost bite him. I think there was a couple of times the snake could have bit him.
Yeah, me too.
He could have been laying on the floor with and been. This would have been a major emergency, not the guy from Chicago Boys with a broken leg. This would have been a severe emergency if he'd gotten bit.
Yeah, I mean there were times when the snake's fangs were only a snake length away from him.
That's right, and that was a big old snake too.
Yeah.
Well, I feel for David the Cobra King. I really liked what he was doing. So, anything else for him?
Nope.
We then get into Jonathan Allen, an opera singer. His parents were supportive of his music until they found out he was gay. And we talked about this back in auditions, that when he turned 18, he told his parents that he was gay. But we find out that he's now been living on his own for 2.5 to 3 years, and he lives in a hotel.
Wow. It's the sweet life of Jonathan Allen. Not really.
Well,
His life is very
not really,
unfortunate.
no. He's probably in some Motel 6 somewhere, not really in a suite.
Yeah.
But that's expensive. Living in a hotel, that's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
But he knows that this is what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be singing opera or classical. Well, tonight he sang The Impossible Dream from Band of La Mancha.
Um. Yeah. I'm getting really bored of opera, Cody.
Oh, okay.
There's so much. I'm
Even
sorry,
if
I
it's
just can't do
classical,
it.
it's not pure opera. He's saying a Broadway show tune this tonight.
Yeah, but Forte and Brandon James also go outside of opera. I don't know. It's not my thing. I'm sorry.
And this on the heels of we finding out Neil E. Boyd is in critical condition.
Oh yeah. Are there any updates on that? That was a while ago.
Yeah, I checked yesterday and I haven't seen anything new. So I don't know if he's
Oh.
still in critical condition or if it's just he's out. No one's really covering it. So
Hmm.
Praying for D.L.E. Boyd. Hope everything turns out okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I really liked this. I thought he did a great job. I like this song from Don Quixote. Uh, I I think him and D'Angelo Chapa. These singers we've talked. I don't really singers got their own shows, go do their own thing. But the singers this year, they're kind of impressing me.
Yeah, yeah.
All kinds, country, rock bands, opera, classical.
Yeah, I'm liking the bands.
Do you have anything else for Jonathan Allen?
No, that's all I got.
Yeah, I bet you could have just thought we could just skip right by him.
I just that one line in my notes.
You're done with opera.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, then we get Kenichi Amina, 39-year-old from Japan. He's a dancer. We find out he was inspired by Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm not sure what in Back to the Future inspired him.
America.
America. Okay, so he was inspired by America from Back to the Future.
Yes, the
Okay.
beautiful picture of America that Back to the Future paints.
Hey, it's what the future could hold
Of course, yeah,
with
that's true.
with our flying cars and hoverboards and
Yeah,
Pepsis that cost $50.
yeah,
So it's all about the future. It's all about what can happen. Uh, we find out he went to a dance party in college as a freshman. He did the Running Man, and he didn't realize until later, but people were laughing at him for doing the Running Man.
such a great story.
It is. I could definitely see him doing the Running Man. Then we find out he started studying Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive. You start impersonating Michael Jackson. Uh, I really liked this performance. What'd you think?
Yeah, I really liked it too. It really, it put a smile on my face for sure. What a fun thing to watch, and probably a very fun, if difficult, thing to do.
Oh, I bet it's extremely difficult to do. The precision, the timing that's required for this.
Yeah, Eh,
Did you notice that it was a video game?
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I like that it had the little score up there with his life bars. Uh, that was just everything about this was much better than what Dave Shirley did.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
much more precise too. Although he can see the projection, so I still maintain that it's a better idea.
just to what's a better idea?
Well, Kenichi can see the projections around him.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't think Dave Shirley can see any of that, and also he's interacting with things. It's not actually supposed to be him.
that is true. That is true. I thought it was cool that they said after the performance that he did all the characters in the video.
Yeah, that was important because I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Right, I thought they were just generated characters. I didn't think they were him dressed up and then projected up there.
Yeah, yeah. And Nick's reaction to to hearing that he played even the woman
Yes,
was so over the top. I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
that's a pretty funny GIF that you created there. So everyone, I'd like for you to go out and take a look at that.
AGT
Uh,
gifs.
ATL. We get from Mel B, not it off the chain, put it off the hook.
Yeah, yeah. Said with the same enthusiasm.
Howie says that he has never said this about any other act ever, that Kenichi has to win the $1 million.
Yeah. Do you think you will?
Um, no, I don't think he will.
Okay.
I don't think he will. It's absolutely fabulous. Uh, I have him as one of my top 10 finalists. I could probably even see him as a top 5 finalist. I just don't think he's going to have the support to win.
Okay. Well, yeah. This seems like it's a great act. It seems like something that that Howie would like too. It's just very happy.
I could see so many possibilities for what he could do in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's almost endless. Anything else for Kenichi?
that's all.
Well, we come back to Jim Meskimen, who's an impressionist, and we talked earlier that they were having Twitter vote for what he should impersonate. But we find out something absolutely incredible in his intro package. His mom is Mrs. Cunningham from Happy Days, Marion Ross. Wait, what?
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yes. I did happen to look to see if Marion Ross is still with us. Happily, she is still with us at 88 years old.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Um, so Jim had Howie pick a famous person from history, and Howie picked Ben Franklin, just out of the blue. And then there were some celebrity names on the screen behind Jim, and what he was going to do is have each of the judges pick a name, and then he was going to impersonate those celebrities as Ben Franklin.
Yeah, this is really impressive when you consider the fact that Howie got to pick Ben Franklin.
Yes, because he could have just picked anybody. I mean, it was totally random.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, Ben Franklin is kind of one of the people that you think of when you think history. I guess I don't know. At least for me, Thomas Jefferson also,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
yeah, I can see that. I mean, but anyone in history, if you just named anyone, you would have to really know your history.
He said someone that we would all know.
That is true, but I mean, even if you still picked other one to be picked, I'm just picking people out: Napoleon or George Washington or Lincoln or whoever. I mean, just whatever. You still have to know your history in order to do when you do the impersonation to kind of explain what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true, and it seemed like he really did. He had a lot of jokes.
He did. He had a lot of jokes, but they were a lot of very short jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Well,
were
I mean,
very
they're impressions.
well, right, but it was still all they were all very brief. I would like to for him to have kind of gone a little longer on each one.
Okay, okay.
Uh, I I liked if I were to compare him and Angela Hoover, I think Angela Hoover did a much better job.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I feel differently, but Angela Hoover tends to do impressions of people I don't know, so I don't know.
Angela Hoover does impressions of people you don't know.
Yeah, these are more obvious. I mean, I guess they're more of the typical people that people do impressions of, which might make Angela's more impressive. But yeah, I mean, like Mel is very impressed with his uh, Robin Williams, but I mean, it's kind of one of the impressions people do, right? So I don't know.
Well, yeah, he did Robin Williams, he did Joe Pesci, he did George Clooney, uh, but Angela Hoover, she did Mel B and Heidi.
Yeah, that's great.
So I think that's maybe why I liked it because she did some of the judges. I mean, the Christina Aguilera wasn't very good, but I think her impressions of the judges were much better than what he did with the other celebrities.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, he did do Robin Williams, R.I.P. Robin Williams.
Mhm.
Um, Howie said he was funny and had great stage presence. He said he, of course, has to adjust. They're just throwing out names. He has to think on the fly. But I, I just would like for him to have gone a little longer on each impression.
Yeah, that's fair. To me, it seemed like he was making the most of his 90 seconds or however long they get. But yeah, I can see wanting more depth. I think they kind of would have fallen apart after that long because just I don't know that he really could do more, but it's certainly fair to want that.
I can see what you're saying. I would just like for him to have done fewer impressions and done longer on each one.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, Anything else for Jim Eskelman?
that's all I got.
Yeah. Then we finally get for our finale, we get the American Military Spouses Choir. And of course, these are spouses of not all of their spouses are active military right now. We find out one of them is pregnant with 2 weeks to go. Uh, any chance she makes it to the next round?
um, yeah, probably not.
Probably not. Well, they sang Hero by Mariah Carey. They were also wearing robes and they had shawls or sashes on that had the military branch that their spouse was in. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, yeah,
They even had pictures up on the screen behind them with their spouse. Just everything about this was really cool.
yeah. I wasn't really touched by this. The everyone seemed to really love it. It moved Mel B to tears. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, it didn't have the same effect on me though.
Okay. Okay. Did you like their audition?
Um, I don't know. We don't get a lot of choirs. I'm not sure that they were the best choir. I think there was another one. I'm not sure what happened to them.
Um, there was a gospel choir.
Yeah.
Um,
I I don't know. Choir music isn't my kind of music either, so I guess I'm being the bad cop again on choir and opera music for that demographic.
okay, I think that's fair. I think it's absolutely fair. There is another. I don't. Well, they're called a chorus that we're going to see next week. I think it's an orchestra and a chorus that we'll see next week. So I think I mentioned back in it was either Vegas or in auditions where I said that choirs don't really do well on this, and we've already seen one eliminated. This one they did really well, and then we'll see another one next week. So maybe the choirs. Hey, maybe I'm wrong on choirs. That
Yeah. But you
okay.
did like this one?
I did like this one. I thought it was really good.
Cool.
Anything else for the? That's it. That's all the performances. Anything else for the performances?
That's all.
Well, then we get into our results, and not a lot went on at the beginning of the results, but we get some behind the scenes from the performance night. We find out someone had to call and get a permit to have the snake brought into New York City. Uh, there was a guy that says we usually bring the stuff in to the building from the truck, but you're going to have to bring in your own snake, which I think is kind of understandable.
Yeah.
We see the reaction by the performers after their judges' feedback. Some saying they're wrong, some just breaking down in tears. Uh, Talking about the Chicago Boys, they went through the whole thing about the guy breaking his leg and going to the emergency room. We see the judges checking Twitter during the break. A lot of Twitter going on this season.
Mm-hmm.
Nick then asked Howie how he thought about the performances. And he kind of brought up that he thought America got it wrong last week, and he's hoping America gets it right this week.
What did he think that they got it wrong on?
You're not reading between the lines on this
Uh,
about Marty Brown.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. They think America completely got it wrong with Marty Brown.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see his next performance now. To
I
see, how the judges react too.
I am too. I'm wondering if he'll kind of get his act together and just come out much better, or if he'll still kind of be the same way he was during uh, quarterfinals.
I think he will. Um, 'Cause I think he came out ready to give a good performance, and the emotional aspects of the intro, I guess, kind of blindsided him. But I think he is capable, and if he didn't get put through, I don't know, would he be a wild card? Like he seems like a good pick, but the judges seem to really hate him.
Right. And I think they were saying that he's much better than what he did. And I agree with you that the intro package probably impacted his performance. His audition was really good. And did he perform during Vegas? I don't remember. Back and look.
Yeah.
He did? Okay. So he apparently did good enough to get to the quarterfinals without having to get pushed through automatically. So I agree that he can do the performance. He just got choked up.
Yeah.
They talk more about the Chicago boy. We then get a performance from Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah, I do, unfortunately.
Okay. He sang some song and danced. I don't know. I was tuned out. I don't know who this guy is.
Okay.
We then get popping at the frat party. Oh, I mean the Orville Lounge.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like a giant frat party back there. They're just, throwing popcorn at each other and jumping up and down and trying to do each other's acts. It's crazy back there at the Orville Lounge.
They should include a trip to the Orville Lounge and like VIP tickets.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
they would have
like
to charge more than $0 though.
that is true. That is true. We then get a clip of Mel B and Heidi and how they've had a major impact on the show. And Heidi says that she will have 10 more wrinkles on each side of her face from laughing so hard. They mentioned that they saw hundreds and hundreds of acts. They were totally surprised by how many people showed up to perform. Mel B said she likes it when guys take their shirts off.
Yeah.
Aren't we an equal opportunity nation around here? I mean, if the guys can take their shirts off during their performances.
Why can't Brad Byers?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not where I was going, but that's a good point.
I know I derailed you.
We see a clip of Heidi counting where a guy has a 6-pack or an 8-pack. God, a lot of.
I have no idea what you're describing right now. It's not your fault.
No, it's totally fine. It's this package with Mel B and Heidi, and they're talking about guys taking their shirts off during performances, and they show a clip from one of the auditions, and you see Heidi down at the judges table, and she's like counting like how much, like look at a guy's abs. Okay, does he have a 6-pack or an 8-pack or a 12-pack?
Okay.
Like, it's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, if guys were to do that, get all over us for doing stuff like that to women, right? They call Howard and Howie bookends because they're on the end. They talk about how loud Howie is, how much he talks.
Mm-hmm.
Then once all that's over, we finally get into some results. And I love this little game that you and I play that we've done now for the last couple of weeks, where you haven't really seen the results. I mean, you've seen them way before, but you really haven't been watching them this time around. And you like to take a guess on who got to put through.
Yeah.
You enjoy this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope our listeners are enjoying it too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, our first group, we get David the Cobra Kid, Leon Etienne, and Aerosphere.
I'm gonna say it's probably not the Cobra Kid. Leon. Aerosphere is the floating balloon,
The
right?
balloon act, right?
I think it's none of them.
You would be correct. It is none of the above.
Okay. Okay.
I did a little research on Where Are They Now? And David the Cobra Kid, he's on Facebook. He has about 1,700 followers. Has it posted since March of 2014?
Yeah. This could have been one of those AGT Facebook pages that it used to be that every act had like a an official AGT one, so a lot of them did things with it, but some of them were just kind of there.
Okay. I hope that's the case and nothing bad happened to David the Cobra Kid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hope one of his snakes didn't finally get to him. I looked up Leon Etienne and I keep butchering it, Rami Lowe. And there is a Leon and Rami. Let me phrase that. There's a Leon Etienne uh, website, but when you go to it, there is another link in there for Leon and Rami. Well, I did some looking around. It doesn't look like there is any more Leon and Rami.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So there is a Leon and Rami Twitter account, and the last time that was updated was April of last year when they went on Fooled.
Oh okay.
So it sounds like Leon and Rami aren't anymore, even though Leon is still performing.
Oh, that's a
And
shame.
and Aerosphere, they're still performing as well. So stuff's still going on for 2/3 of those acts.
Where does the Aerosphere perform?
They kind of just perform around. I mean, they have a Facebook page, they have a website. Uh, they just, I guess, if someone wants to pay them to come and perform, they'll go and perform there. So
Yeah.
uh, they've got recent stuff. December, they've got posts from December. So
Mm-hmm.
actually,
Cool.
there's one from late January. So they're active.
That's good.
Howard said America got it right. You think America got it right on that?
Picking none of them.
Yes,
I don't know. I like the Cobra Kid,
you do.
but yeah. But I don't know. I haven't worked out a top four that I would take from this episode.
Okay, okay. Uh, I I wasn't too impressed. I mean, looking at the other acts, I probably would not have voted for them. I would have voted for the Spouses Choir, Jonathan Allen, Deanna, and probably Kenichi.
Okay. Okay.
So, um, so, uh, so the next group we get the Spouses Choir, Brandon and Savannah, and Kelsey and Bailey.
Well, that's that's gotta be the spouses choir.
It is the Spouses Choir. Yep. So, I'm glad that they went through. I think, yeah, that group they were the better of the three.
Okay. Cool.
The next group we get Jonathan Allen, Jim Meskimen, and Kenichi Abina.
Kenichi Abina.
Okay, so yeah, this one they announced Kenichi first, and then this was a twofer since we had a nofer in the first group.
Oh. Okay.
This was a twofer. So then we had Jonathan go up against Jim Meskimen.
Okay. Okay. That's I'm gonna say that's Jonathan Allen.
It is Jonathan Allen. Yep. In this one, though, Heidi said she wanted to take off her shoes and go up there and give him a big hug.
Did she do
So
it?
she did it. It was a little sketchy because there's a gap between the judges' stage and the actual stage. There's probably a 2 or 3 foot gap. So they had to have someone from production come out and help her across. It was kind of sketchy whether she was going to get across there.
Okay.
Yeah, Heidi breaking barriers here. Get a little dangerous.
Yeah.
Then our final group was the Mitzi Dancing School, Deanna De La Chapa, and the Chicago Boys. Who do you think got eliminated from that group?
Mitzi Dancing School.
Nope, not the Mitzi Dancing School. I'll give
Okay.
you one more shot.
It's the Chicago Boys and Deanna.
Deanna, right.
I'm gonna say it's probably Deanna.
Yeah, it was Deanna, and I was totally shocked by this.
Hmm. That is a shame.
Yeah, between those three, I think she was the better act of those three.
Hmm. Should be my least favorite, I think, but yeah, she's got some chops.
So then it goes down to a judge's vote, and you'll be shocked by this. We get Mel B picks the Chicago Boys.
Okay.
Howard picks the Chicago Boys.
Okay.
Howie picks the Chicago Boys.
All right.
We had the judges make a decision.
Wow.
It's the first time.
Yeah. I think I might have gone with Mitzi Dancing School myself, but I don't know.
I probably would have as well. The Chicago Boys are going to be down a guy. I
Yeah.
think I think the Mid-Sea Dance School is much more precise, and Howard even mentioned both acts involve precision.
Yeah.
And I think Mitzi has way more growth. I think there's way more stuff they can do.
Yeah, maybe so. But I am looking forward to seeing the Chicago Boys again.
It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see if they bring in like some alternate or another guy, or just do it with the ones they have.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else on the results?
I guess that's all.
Well, next week we get Three Penny Chorus and Orchestra, so there's another choir for you.
Okay.
The Robotics, and I don't know who that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Okay. We get Aerial Ice, which is an ice skating and aerial act. We
Yeah.
get Cammie Bradley, who looked like she was a singer.
Okay.
We get David Furman. I'm excited about this.
Who is he again?
He's your Molotov guy, Molotov cocktail guy.
Oh, it's been a while.
It has been a while. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
We have Jimmy Rose,
Okay.
Champions Forever.
What? And these are real.
These are real, I promise. Sensation, spelled Sensetion.
Yeah. Okay.
You get Taylor Williamson next week.
Oh, huzzah.
Yes. Timber Brown,
Okay.
Chloe
Okay.
Chanel,
Okay.
and Tubby Talk.
Oh my gosh. Well, all right. That sounds like it's gonna be lit.
Okay, so I've still got my top 10 here. One, two, okay, that's 10. So I added Kenichi. So Kenichi is going through. Uh, and I'm not sure what's going on because I've still got Taylor Williams. Well, I got Taylor Williams, who we'll see next week. Sam Johnson, who we haven't seen yet, right?
Yeah, is he next week?
He's not on the list.
Oh no.
We have Sprice. I've still on my top 10, who we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And Ruby and Jonas.
Okay.
How many quarterfinal shows are there?
I don't know.
Next week will be 4. Are there 5 quarterfinal episodes?
I don't know. That's a lot of people missing. Let me see.
And I made a boo-boo as I was going through the Where Are They Now? I found out one of the acts that was eliminated tonight comes back as a wild card.
Oh, who's that?
I think it was Leon.
Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, there are 5.
Okay.
And you will see Ruby and Jonas and Sprice and Sam Johnson in that episode.
Okay. Week 5. Been a while since we've seen them.
Yeah.
Well, anything else for this episode?
I think that is all.
Well, as we promised, this is a short episode tonight. Want to remind everybody that you can reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook at AGTcast. You could also send us an email, agtcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you want to talk about any of the performances we've seen, all the way back to auditions, or uh, Vegas week or any of the quarterfinals, you want to ask about those or talk about them, or anything that we haven't seen yet. If you know of what's going to happen down the road and you want to send us a note, go ahead and send those over to us. We'll talk about it when we get to those shows. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Is
Uh,
there a Chicago Boys joke in the AGT cast handle? I don't know.
that joke went totally over my head. I just whoo.
Do you get it now?
No, I guess I still don't. It must.
Because one of the guys broke his leg and he'll be wearing an AGT cast.
Ah,
It's funnier if you don't think about it.
that is true. I just totally went over my
Oh
head.
well, let's shut this down.
Nice try though. Yeah, we'll go ahead and shut this down. So we'll get to our quarterfinals week 4 next week. So until then, y'all have a good night.
Thanks very much.